So it's been a couple of days since the new update and there's a couple of meta changes. So today I'm going to give you the key takeaways, give you a new hierarchy for what weapons to use. So starting off with probably the most used weapon in Warzone 2, the RPK, with a couple of small nerfs. Small reduction to the ADS movement speed, reduction in mid to long range damage, and reduced damage ranges. Not the biggest changes, RPK still reigns king. It's probably like one extra bullet at long range. So probably the second most popular gun in Warzone, the Fennec 45, has had a pretty dramatic nerf. It's got decreased damage overall, decreased headshot damage, and added minimum damage against armor. Still a viable option, it's still pretty meta, but it's definitely not the go-to weapon anymore. Another very popular gun is the Taq-V, which has had a very big nerf. Got decreased mid-range damage, increased semi-auto torso damage, reduced semi-auto leg damage, decreased full auto head damage, and reduced semi-auto rate of fire. It was a very viable gun. I think it's been overtaken by the new ISO lock. There's some of the big update to the main weapons in Warzone 2. What do you think about the meta changes? What guns are you using? Please leave your comment below. Let's do a little bit of a compare. So starting out with what is probably the best gun in the game at the moment, in the RPK, still top tier with its small little nerf. This is what I'm running on it. So on the muzzle, I got an SA lever 55 tuned as so on the screen. Got the Lockwin Precision 40 underbarrel tuning for increased accuracy. High velocity rounds tuned for bullet velocity and damage range. It just increases that range of fire now that we have a bit of a nerf on that. Then we have the Chrono RE X Pro, increasing my aim down sight speed just because I like to run, sprint, come up to sights nice and quick. This is personal preference, so there's a lot of different meta loadouts around, so just look at which one you want. It's not too bad. As you can see, TTK is pretty awesome, and it's got some pretty good recoil control. So I found myself getting in a lot of mid-range battles now as well. It's just my play style that I like to play a little bit more aggressively, but I still want that mid to long range effect, so I'm not using a submachine gun at a couple of 100 meters. The M4 with its increased fire rate, top tier for me. Anyway, this is my favorite weapon. So this is my build here. I'm using on the barrel the Hightower 20-inch barrel, tuned for recoil, steadiness, and damage range. And then I've got the Echoless 80 muzzle, so a nice little silencer on that thing with recoil, smoothness, and bullet velocity as well. Gives me a good range and a good amount of damage. And then I've got the FFS Shark Fin 90. Of course, you just plop that on everything. It's probably the best under barrel attachment. Again, for recoil, steadiness, and being idle. I got a 60 round mag because it's Warzone. You need that 60 round mag with the 3 plate armors, so you'd be silly not to. Personal preference on the sight, tuned the same for seeing far and flinch resistance when I'm getting hit. Still a very viable submachine gun now that we've lost the Fennec. The Fennec is still a great weapon. You can still use it. It's just been nerfed. Definitely not like a red gun anymore. It's definitely not the go-to. But the Vaznek, I've been using this since season 1 of Warzone, and I still think it's a incredibly powerful SMG. But this is what I run. I run an SA Response 3 barrel, tuned for, of course, recoil and aim down sight speed. And then I've got the Cubic Comp muzzle, again tuned for aim down sight speed, and then gun kick control. I got a 45 round mag. Of course, again, you're playing Warzone, you need a lot of ammo. Shooting this weapon's a bit hard at long distances, but when you're up close, as you can see, there's no recoil on that at all. I'm going to throw a little one in that I haven't seen a lot of people use when I'm playing. It's an assault rifle. The Chimera, or the Chimera, however you pronounce it. I love this gun. Again, been using it since Warzone 1. Pretty similar setup to the rest of them. You know, you got all the mags, you got a laser on it. For this one, I've got a rear grip. This is a bit of a hybrid for me because it's such a light assault rifle. I use it for rushing building, close quarters stuff. Again, for the barrel, damage range and recoil steadiness right to the top. Get that mobility in there. Again, this is probably about the distance I'll be using. As you can see, like no recoil at all. That'll about do it for some of my meta changes. They're the most important changes to the weapons. Of course, you can always read the patch notes yourself. There are a couple of my classes at the end as well. Try them out. They might not be for you. They might be for you. It's just my play style. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Happy hunting.